After a new city release and the weeks that follow, more and more areas will sell and mint out. Given time, of course, all of them will eventually sell out. So that said, trying to figure out what areas are completely sold, which ones still have properties left, how many properties are left, it can be a real hassle. So let's figure out a way to make this easier. Hey there, John Henry here, ssftg. Welcome to the video. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome my friend. I hope to earn your like and subscription today. Whether you're trying to fill out your favorite collection or attempting to scoop up the last remaining properties in a nearly sold out area, we're always on the hunt for the next deal. If we can find a property to mint still available, it's likely going to be cheaper than the secondary market until the zone at least sells out. To make sure we're always getting the best deal, we can use mapping tools on Upland Optimizer to help us out. If you haven't used Upland Optimizer yet, you're seriously missing out. It's uplandoptimizer.com. They have a mapping tool on there that allows us to see where visually places are sold out. So that way we can always make sure that we're going to the right spot. Next to UPXland, this is easily the next most used tool that I personally have on my tool belt. They have property searches that can search for structures on properties as well, which is amazing because that's what I was doing on UP2, but UP2's website has been down for a while now, and who knows what's going on there, and I've been missing the ability to search for structures, and you can do that on here as well. Just a quick tangent real fast here, but if you go to Tools, and then you go to the data, for sale properties. And for sale properties, on the right side, you'll notice buildings is a dropdown, and you can choose what kind of building you want to search for. And man, I absolutely love having that. Now, I know we're always talking about Los Angeles, and this is the current map of Los Angeles if you want to see it, or if you want to just go to the site and check it out. But let's take a look at a different location, right? We're always talking about Los Angeles. How about somewhere else that still has some properties available? Let's see, what would be a good one? How about Nashville? Nashville still has some properties left, so let's create a map of Nashville to give us an idea of what Tennessee is looking like. And this here is a representation of what is available and what's sold out. With the heat map, we can see that areas like Jolton, which if you're not familiar with these areas, that's this orange spot up here. But these areas like Jolton are effectively still completely wide open. If you look at the percentage, it's only 10 to 20%. Comparatively to some of the easier collection zones, like, let's say, as an example, Priest Lake, which is another collection that's down here, and you'll notice that that is basically sold out. Parkwood would be another one, which is right here, and that is basically sold out. A lot of the collection areas sell out first because that's where the highest demand is. Now, the cool thing is, as a zone sells out, the secondary market becomes much more active. As a zone sells out, the secondary market becomes much more active. Here we're taking a look at Parkwood, and we can see that these are all of the unminted properties sorted by minting price, and well, we can see why there might still be some properties left, probably because there are 110,000 to mint, and that jumps up really, really fast. So really all that's left are incredibly expensive properties, and everybody's so focused on Los Angeles that they're not going to dedicate money over here in that size yet, until they realize how much earnings these can actually offer with 1.5x boosts and almost no competition. But either way, this basically means that things like the floor sweeper model and other models that are more reliant on faster inventory movement, they have the ability, when the market is selling out this aggressively, knowing that people aren't very well going to be minting 110,000 things as fast as they would 5,000 UPX things, then the secondary market starts lighting up. So when we look at the secondary market, we can go into the data for sale properties in Nashville, and let's look under the Parkwood neighborhood, and we'll do a search, and we can see that now we have a lowest price of $21,150. The highest minting cost is $110, but as far as the pricing goes, you can see there's not much left in the $20 range. $21,000, $24,000, $25,000, 26, 29, and before you know it, all of a sudden we're in the 30s, starting to push through the 30s pretty aggressively, where there's quite a bit of volume. Effectively, that's telling us that Parkwood, on a secondary market perspective, is not going to be hanging around the $20 mark very, very long, because it's almost sold out, and the only properties that are available to mint are 100 minimum. If you aren't in Upland yet, the heat map on Upland Optimizer is a great way to figure out visually where you should target and start out on. First, zoning into a game, whether it's geographically, oriented or not, is hard. And trying to figure out where all of these different area names and zones and all that stuff are, it gets massively confusing. I know for me, it took me a solid couple weeks before I was really comfortable with California, because I don't live on the West Coast. I live in Michigan. Like, I don't know anything about California, So it's one of those things where if it's brand new, it can be really confusing, and seeing things visually mapped out for someone like me who's very visually oriented makes it a lot easier. If you're not in Upland yet, though, make sure to click the link in the description so you can get started. That gets you going with a nice boost in starting UpX, and if you decide to invest some cash into the game, you also get a massive 50% bonus for using my referral link on your first UpX purchase, with a bonus cap of 50,000 UpX. A special for my ssftg crew as well that used my referral link and bought some UpX with that 50% bonus. You have access to the ssftg USP list, so make sure to peruse the inventory and find your next deal at 20% or more below what we bought it for. More info can be found on ssftg.com/upland. If you have any questions, thoughts, ideas for a video that you've been dying to see, or maybe a hilarious street view that you want everyone to see, drop them in the comments. I always love hearing from you all, and plus, it may just make it into the next video. Have an amazing time in the metaverse out there, and thanks for watching.